Wale Famrewa, and I'm delighted to be your MC today. And today we'll be exploring the transformative power of embedded insurance and how leveraging technology and innovation can drive business growth. And we look forward to, over the next 2 hours, getting some very valuable perspective from our expert panelists and keynote speaker who will be doing justice to this theme. So thank you again for joining us, and we look forward to having you also chime in as you share your thoughts and questions as we proceed. But to get us, before I ask for the Managing Director of Coronation Insurance to give his opening remarks, just a few housekeeping issues to run through. First of all, for your information, this session is being recorded. And as I mentioned earlier, we will look forward to having you share your thoughts and ask your questions. And as you do so, I want to encourage you to please use the Q&A field so that you don't get lost in the chats. So on that note, I'd like to now yield this virtual stage to the Managing Director of Coronation Insurance, Mr. Olamide Olajolo, to deliver his opening remarks. So over to you, sir.
Thank you very much, Wale. It's good to be back here again. So to set the ball rolling, I will quickly take the opening remark. Good morning, esteemed guests. It is my pleasure to welcome you to today's webinar themed Embedded Insurance, Leveraging Technology and Innovation to Drive Business Growth. My name is Olamide Olajolo, the CEO of Coronation Insurance PLC, and I'm delighted to have you all join us for this significant event. At Coronation Insurance, we recognize the transformative impact of technology in driving growth. The integration of insurance products into digital platforms or embedded insurance is revolutionizing how we engage with our clients, manage risk, and streamline operations. This integration is not just a technological advancement, it's a strategic move that drives sustainable business growth and creates new opportunities. This webinar is part of our ongoing thought leadership initiatives designed to provide valuable insights and practical knowledge to our clients. So whether you are here as a business owner, a tech enthusiast, or an insurance professional, this section will equip you with essential understanding and strategies to navigate and leverage this evolving landscape. We have a panel of distinguished professionals and experts who help us thoroughly explore the topic. Our moderator, Wale Famrewa, is a renowned broadcast journalist who will guide us through these insightful discussions. So I encourage you all to actively participate, ask questions, and make the most of the insights shared today. Together, we will explore how embedded insurance can drive sustainable growth, enhance customer experiences, and provide competitive edge in your various businesses. Thank you for joining us. I hope you find this section both informative and inspiring as we embark on this journey of leveraging technology to drive meaningful growth and innovation in your business and the economy at large. I thank you all. Thanks so much. Wale, over to you.
I do sincerely apologize for that short break in transmission. Thank you again, Mr. Olajolo, for your very concise but very valuable opening remarks as we get started. And so he has already cued us. He has given us the context and what to expect. So we get started now with a keynote presentation. And I'm very delighted to invite our keynote speaker to deliver his presentation. He is none other than Mr. Elvis Chukwu, Chief Technology Officer of Konga Online, Nigeria. He's a seasoned technology leader, driving innovation and growth in fintech, e-commerce, and logistics. He'll be sharing his expertise on leveraging technology for business success. And no doubt there would be a focus on embedded insurance as he does so. So on that note, I'd like to hand over now to Elvis to deliver his presentation. Elvis, it's over to you.
Well, thank you, Ole. Thank you, everyone. Can anyone hear me? Can everyone hear me?
Yeah, sure. Elvis can hear you.
Yes, loud and clear. Please go ahead.
Great. Okay. Yeah. Good morning, everyone. I'd like to welcome you again to this webinar. My name is Chukwu Elvis. I'm the VP/CTO for Konga Online Limited, and I'll be delivering the keynote speech for this event. So we dive in. The topic of the webinar is embedded insurance, leveraging technology and innovation to drive business growth. I'll try to make this as participatory as possible. So I have these two offers presented to you. Which would you choose? Just to make use of the chat forum to respond. If you get to konga.com and you want to buy an iPhone 15, and you have these two offers presented to you, one with some insurance and is a bit more expensive, and the other one without insurance, which would you actually choose? Could you A and B? You can use the option A and B to reply in the chat forum. Please, the participants, I want this to be engaging. Could you provide your answers, please? Which of these would you choose? A, but we need to know the benefits, okay? Okay, somebody will choose A. Wole will choose A. Okay, but we want to know the benefits. Okay, so well, let's say the benefit covers stuff like damage during shipping. If there's damage during shipping, we could replace it for you. Or covers extended warranty. Ideally, I think Apple will give you 1 year warranty. If we extend the warranty for you to cover about 3 years, would that make you comfortable? So great. Now that dives us into trying to understand what is embedded insurance, right? Now, ordinarily, before now, if you want to get insurance for your item, if you purchase an item, say a car, and you need an insurance, what you would do is after purchasing the car, you would go to an insurance company, approach an insurance company who will evaluate the value of your item, and then offer you a policy that covers your item based on the risk that they have evaluated on that. Now, the problem with this is, sorry, my slide is not moving. Can someone point to that quickly, please? I want to go to the next slide. Okay, thank you. So the problem with this is it takes you to actually go to an insurance company first, or maybe the insurance will come to you before you are able to access insurance. Now, what is embedded insurance? Embedded insurance is an insurance that is integrated into a non-insurance product or services or transactions. Now, how this works is seamlessly. If you take a look at the illustration I tried to make in the previous slide, where Wole chose to go for the option A because it gives him some level of comfort purchasing that. Now, if we have embedded the insurance on this product on konga.com, it will result to a seamless customer experience because Wole will not need to go to an insurance company to get this. And then for the insurance provider, what they are doing now is leveraging the existing konga.com customers. Now, see here that say the provider here is a Coronation Insurance. Coronation do not necessarily need to approach Wole and tell Wole that we just noticed you bought an iPhone 15. Would you want to take an insurance cover for this? But they instead leverage on Wole being an existing customer of konga.com. Now, at the point of checkout, when Wole purchased this insurance, notice something. The tag just said you could get an insurance for this item. So Wallet doesn't really know who is offering the insurance. That's giving you a room to actually white label the insurance and build more trust. The users definitely would prefer to buy the insurance if they know that the platform that they are purchasing this from is the one offering that to them. Now, this benefits both parties, the customer and the provider. The customer here, who most likely would not go to purchase an insurance policy cover for his iPhone, now have the opportunity to do that seamlessly. And the provider, who would have ideally start taking a step to contact this customer, actually got this customer without taking any extra cost or any extra step. Now, examples are you could get all this embedded insurance in gadget insurance with electronics. A typical example is the one I demonstrated above, with travel insurance, booking, etc. Now, evolution of insurance. How this insurance or insurance started actually as from the traditional distribution, where an insurance company or its agents or brokers or direct sales people would reach out to someone who they believe needs an insurance and then try to sell the insurance to the person. Or in some cases, the person that purchased an item who believes he needs an insurance for that item will attempt to reach out to the insurance company. Then came the rise of this distribution. Online aggregators and insurance companies trying to aggregate the traditional insurance issuers in this case. This brought about a shift towards customer-centric model. What most companies start thinking about is how do we reach these customers at the point of need? The point of need largely is at the point in the checkout process, in the purchase process. At that point when the customer is trying to purchase the item, could we offer them insurance? Could we personalize this insurance product and offer a unique experience to these customers? This actually gave us an emergence of embedded insurance company, where insurance company now partner with commerce, retail points, modeling markets, etc. Any place where you can actually purchase an item to embed insurance into that transaction. So benefits of embedded insurance. As seen in my earlier illustration, if you embed insurance into a checkout flow, it will bring about a seamless integration between the insurance product and the product you want to actually buy. And with this, actually, you can reach a higher number of customers. Just like I demonstrated earlier, Coronation Insurance, who was selling the insurance, was able to reach Wale through Konga.com. Ordinarily, something they wouldn't have been able to do without embedding that insurance. This increases their uptake. And then with this, they are also able to offer a tailored coverage based on the individual needs and behavior. At that point, what Wale wanted to buy is iPhone, and they're able to tailor an insurance that meets Wale's need, maybe by extended warranty, or maybe by covering damage during shipping, etc. This also reduces the operational cost, because the customer would have taken a coronation insurance to find Wale to even understand that, okay, Wale bought an iPhone, and the logistics that are required, the effort of trying to sell that insurance to Wale, the cost associated with that has been reduced or removed because of the embedded nature of the insurance in this case. Now that takes me to a critical problem that currently exists with checking out on online platforms. Now there is a huge problem of trust here, where the customers battle with how much should I trust the item I want to buy from an online platform. Where they have questions around refunds, what's the refund policy, replacement of damaged items, or maybe possibility of getting these items repaired. Now, if we are able to embed an insurance into online checkout flows and e-commerce, what happens is the customers would now have a kind of increased trust or confidence that should anything go wrong in the event of trying to purchase this item, I'll be covered. I'm able to get a refund, get a replacement, or get the item repaired for me without having to bother, just by only paying a little premium to cover that. Now, this takes me to a question going on in my head. Maybe someone from Coronation could help. Like I mentioned before, I want this to be a little to be highly participatory. I was just wondering, looking at all this with embedded insurance, would this really solve the problem of what I ordered versus what I got? Because most times when you look at when you take a survey on why many people in Nigeria do not want to buy things online, you hear somebody saying from the experience people had, most times they order for something and they got something else, or something they ordered is damaged or repaired. As someone from Coronation Insurance assisted, do you think that this embedded insurance would really reduce the fear of what I ordered versus what I got? Hello?
I'm sorry, did you ask us to respond to something?
Yes. I was asking maybe Olamide can help, or Judith, or Nelson.
Right, okay.
Yeah. Hello, Nelson?
Yes. Okay. Okay. Do you mind just repeating the
question
again?
Elvis.
Okay. I think
Elvis, please.
Okay.
Can you repeat the question once more?
Okay, so I was looking at the potentials for problem solving that is being provided by embedded insurance at checkout pages, right? So I discussed a predominant question or issue or challenge that most people have with shopping online. The issue where they have about what I ordered versus what I got. Trust issue. I will likely get a defective item or the wrong item. So I was wondering, how do you perceive this? Will embedded insurance on this product, would it really reduce the fear that people have around this issue of what I ordered versus what I got?
Okay, so I would rather look at it from the context of the safekeeping of the device. Of course, if you get a defective device when you order for it, except that thing is part of the features of insurance, of course it will be covered. Probably you are quite right to that extent that, okay, if part of it is okay, if they receive a defective insurance, why damage in cost of transit, the insurance will come in. That's a good feature of an embedded insurance. And then when they even take custody of the device and then they start using the device and it's damaged, at least for the next 1 year, they are sure that they have insurance cover on it. And like the first picture that you showed, you have a product for 1,500 and another for 1,700. So logically, if somebody misplaces his phone or is stolen or whatever it is or is damaged, your 1,500 has gone. But if you bought it for 1,500 plus 200 insurance, automatically you have the peace of mind, and that's what insurance brings to you. Peace of mind that 200 naira that you additional that you paid will cover you for the 1,500, and then you have a replacement device eventually. Those are comforting features of insurance, which I think everybody should make able to adopt and buy insurance.
Great. Thank you, Olamide. So that's exactly where the angle I actually look at it from as well. Potentials of solving the problem that actually exist with checking out on e-commerce. So these are all the benefits that embedding insurance in the checkout flow actually provides. Now that takes us to the next slide, the role of technology in embedding this insurance. I'll try to use a real life scenario. I would use Konga Travel here as an example. In Konga Travel, today we actually have insurance embedded in our ticket sales flow, but it's very manual. What we do now is when somebody purchases an airline ticket, the customer representative will reach out to the person. We have an insurance coverage or insurance policy available for this as well. Would you like to purchase? And in most cases, we've been able to convert customers and they are able to purchase this insurance. Now that takes us thinking to come to think about it. What if we have this seamless? What if we have a handshake, a technological handshake between us, the platform that sells the tickets, and the platform that provides the insurance? This is definitely possible through API integration, and the project that I've already commenced and will be available in a couple of weeks now. It is in UAT phase. Now, what technology does is it actually makes this seamless because you can achieve a synergy, you can achieve a seamless integration between the product sold and the insurance policy that you want to add as an add-on to this product. Now, technology can also provide, using AI and machine learning, can also provide an advantage where the insurance provider is able to analyze the risks associated with providing insurance to that particular transaction, and also be able to personalize the insurance policy or product to that particular transaction and to the person who's purchasing it at that point. Now, looking into available data using data analytics, the issuer here or the insurance company is also able to gain insights into tailored coverages and prices. They're able to understand the different purchase patterns that have existed and understand what the best pricing points will be for that insurance policy. Now, think about the earlier illustration that I showed earlier, where Wole opted to purchase the item A with the insurance. Imagine if Wole was doing this transaction at midnight, say around 1 a.m. And by 1 a.m., of course, Konga.com, the customer service center will be closed by then. But Wole had some questions. I think he asked a question. At that point, he was even confused. He asked, what are the benefits of this insurance? Now, because someone was not available then to answer that question, he would have dropped off actually, and probably up for the one he understood. He understood the first one, but have some clarity that he would want to get from the second one. But using technology, if you have a chatbot or a virtual assistant here, one might be able to ask a question there. What are the benefits of purchasing insurance or purchasing this item with this insurance, or the benefit of the insurance coverage that is attached to this item? Now, the virtual assistants will likely provide him answers, the same answers that I provided earlier, and it will convince him to probably go ahead and purchase the item A. Now, these are all the benefits that, or all the roles that technology can actually play in embedded insurance. Also, we could leverage on blockchain technology with its promises of transparency and security in transactions. This will actually also boost confidence and trust of customers in purchasing the added insurance in the checkout flow. Let's dive in and look at some real use cases of technology in embedded insurance, right? I mentioned what we are doing on Konga.com right now, which will be available in a couple of weeks. There are also some players who have already enabled it, like Amazon, Shopify. In fact, let me come down to Nigeria. We have a company, there is a product that I recently researched on, the GT Bank personal loan. At the checkout of the GT Bank salary advance or instant personal loan, there is an embedded 10% insurance attached to it. Now, ideally, the person who's taking this or the company who's offering this would need to reach out to an insurance company to say, okay, I'm offering this person a loan, analyze the risk, and insure me in this transaction. But because of the seamless integration, the handshake between the APIs of the owner of the product or the checkout point, the point of sale, and then that of the issuing company for the insurance policy, you are able to embed insurance instantly on that product at the point of checkout, right? Now, the aspect of technologies that are highly needed in making this seamless are the API integration, the AIs for personalization and recommendation, heavy data analysis to understand the patterns and come up with better pricing, and a well-positioned or well-personalized insurance policy for the person who is trying to purchase a particular item at a particular point. We also have these around travel bookings platforms, the Konga Travels, Expedia, etc., and even Airbnb. Airbnb insuring their property owners of any damage arising from someone who booked that property. We also have a seamless thing. Okay, I've mentioned about the financial sectors where I mentioned GT, etc. And then we have the on-demand insurance for drivers, which is also a trend right now, where you have the Uber drivers, the Lyft, and the riders getting insurance right on the app as well. Now, what are the types of embedded insurance? You can actually embed your insurance or have embedded insurance product based, where you can have extended warranty, coverage for damage or things, etc. Or you could have this on services similar to purchase of travel tickets, booking of Airbnb apartments, etc. Or on platform based, where you have the InsurTech sites that actually aggregates different insurance companies or traditional issuers. Now, there are key players actually needed to have these seamless products. You need the InsurTech companies, right? The companies that provide the technology with which you can actually leverage and achieve this embedded insurance. You need the traditional issuer, yeah. They might have their own personalized or personal technology, or maybe ride on the InsurTech companies to use their technology to actually issue a listing and issue this insurance. So you have the e-commerce platforms or the modern market with their point of sales and maybe a checkout flow, where anywhere you have a checkout flow or the point of sales, where we can actually embed this insurance to provide the seamless transaction model that we're looking at, where someone who wants to buy a product can actually check out the product and add insurance as an add-on. You have the OEMs or OPMs, just as in the case of Tesla. Tesla at the moment embeds insurance for the sales of their cars. Mercedes-Benz also does that. It is a good, okay, Apple. Okay, you have the Apple Care already embedded, extended Apple insurance on Apple devices that you purchase. Then financial institutions also are good players in this, offering integrated financial services and risk management solutions. Now, all these players need to come together and have a synergy which can be achieved leveraging technology and connecting these players together to deliver a similar embedded insurance experience. Now, if we have a look at some statistics, what statistics actually show, a survey was carried out by CoverGenius in 2020, and then with a sample size of 2,700 participants, that revealed that about 91% of the respondents would be willing to spend more money, right? Similar to what happened in the case that I tried to demonstrate earlier, where Wole opted to spend more money to purchase option A with insurance. As well, it was also shown that about 15.7% would purchase more items. So ordinarily, other than buying just one thing, you saw that you could buy more things there. And because there is insurance coverage or insurance option embedded in it, it increases your tendency or your willingness to actually go ahead and purchase more items. You also have about 32.7% who would both purchase more and spend more if given the option to insure their goods at the checkout process or the purchase flow. Then 48.4% of the consumers would be willing to buy more items online. Now, this is actually the case, especially in Nigeria. In Nigeria, the online space is not fully utilized. A couple of people still prefer to buy from the traditional stores because they believe it's easier for them. They could see and connect to the product that they are buying because of the fears they have, damages, returns, and refunds. But with insurance, this actually increases. On the survey, That aligns with what the survey actually shows here, indicating that about 48.4% of the customers will be willing to buy more items online. And then 60.1% are more likely to purchase insurance from the retailers that sell them the products. Now, if Konga.com at the checkout point is able to sell you an insurance, it gives you more confidence, right? And you are more likely willing to purchase that insurance, achieving the white label nature of embedded insurance, actually. Now, some success stories. It might be very interesting to look at what AppleCare have done. I mentioned this AppleCare earlier. AppleCare introduced embedded insurance in form of an extended warranty. And as of 2020, they were able to sell about $8.5 billion from insurance. This is a huge market for them, or a huge growth. Similar to what the success story seen in Airbnb host guarantee. Now, the Airbnb host guarantee offers the apartment owners protection on damage of properties, right? Giving them more confidence, so they are more willing to list the property on Airbnb for rentals. You can also see the success story of what's happening with Tesla Insure, where Tesla is offering insurance tailored to the Tesla car owner. All these are areas where this embedded insurance have been applied, and there is a huge success or huge improvement in the purchase flow of that sector. Now, challenges and limitations. Of course, there are challenges with embedded insurance. The first challenge you will think about is regulatory hurdles, right? This varies from region and products. Like in Nigeria here, for Coronation, they will be looking at how they navigate the regulatory challenges. We also have the integration. The integration could be a little bit complex. Here you will need the services of experts, those who understand technology very well, those who understand API, to be able to integrate or create the synergy between the issuer and the owner of the checkout flow here. And then, aside the regulatory challenge and the integration, you also have a predominant challenge here, which is educating customers. If you look at the first, the illustration I started with earlier, Wale was a bit skeptical because he doesn't understand the benefits or what the coverages of this insurance will be. Now, there is also a challenge of educating all the customers. The customers need to understand the benefits, understand how to go about the claims, etc. All these are challenges that we will need to overcome to have this embedded insurance go very well in society. And you have building trust and transparency. You could actually embed insurance in a checkout flow, but yet that doesn't mean that people will purchase those insurance. Most times resulting from trust issues. Now, building the trust between these people would actually increase the rate at which they opt in for the embedded insurance. Future outlooks is that the demand for embedded insurance is expected to grow significantly in coming years. Parametric insurance coverage triggered by specific events and data. Now, we also need to look at specific events, data, just similar to an event like checkout. How do we want to provide an insurance to cover this? This will totally depend so much on API-based integrations that will enable seamless embedding of the insurance policies into various platforms. Of course, AI and machine learning is a huge area to explore here to perfect the personalization and risk assessment. There are so many industries where there are features to explore in embedded insurance. For now, most of the key players are e-commerce, modern markets, etc. But we need to also start thinking beyond these major players and look at other markets and industries where embedded insurance can play. Before now, say long ago, I used to think that insurance is only applicable to start purchasing a car, buying a house, etc. But until the emergence of embedded insurance, it became more evident that you can actually purchase insurance for some little items like stuff that you buy online, your phone, extended warranty, etc. So expanding into new markets and other industries is a huge future opportunity. Is a huge opportunity for the future. My major highlights from my presentation, I've been able to explain or demonstrate how embedded insurance is able to offer seamless customer experience, help the insurance providers to reach customers at their point of need, and also increase their uptake. This also helps the issuing company to leverage on the existing customer relationship of the checkout provider here. Remember, there are two different providers, the checkout provider, the issuing company. But the issuing company now will be able to leverage on the customer relationship of the checkout provider to start their insurance policies. Excuse me. You also need a partnership between insurtechs, traditional insurance issuers, and platforms to actually create a success in this embedded insurance journey. There are current strategies, but the future actually looks promising with embedded insurance. If we continue to innovate, embedded insurance has the potential to actually transform industries. Now, with this, I'll leave you with a quote. I personally believe that every point of sales and checkout page should offer embedded insurance as a standard practice. Thank you.
Great. Thank you. Oops. My apologies. Thank you very much, Elvis. That was really enlightening. And as I can see already, we are already having some questions that we'll be posing to you and to other panelists as we proceed with the event. So thank you again for the very, very enlightening presentation. And at this time, I will now invite our panelists to join Elvis as we take the conversation further in discussing how technology can be applied for business growth, and more specifically, how embedded insurance can be applied in that process as well. So I'm delighted to introduce our speakers and our panelists, and I'll just go through the list very briefly as we get started. Starting with Erica Creason, who is Managing Director of Inter Innovation Education. She's a leading expert in insurance innovation and digital transformation. She'll share very valuable insights on shaping the future of insurance through talent development and education. But of course,
yeah, thank you for the opportunity to be here. Thank you.
Erica, it seems there's a problem with Wally's network. Please, you can go ahead, please, Erica.
Yeah, also that whole, I think we'll introduce the other panelists as well. And but so long, of course, from my point of view, I'm very happy to be here and to give for you, from my European perspective, the advantage of embedded insurance. And of course, from the talent developing. Why is necessary? Because without your talent, we cannot do anything in the embedded insurance or in the insurance side. And this is my passion to support insurance companies to understand the future of insurance. And of course, one part of the future, and I think the possibility of embedded insurance is currently we are staying in the beginning. And of course that if we are using the technology and we are understanding the value of technology, and you have the great talent to develop this technology, and of course from the whole opportunity, it is a big advantage for companies. And I think it will be not the product that it will be interesting for the future from the customer point of view, because everybody has the same product, so that's not this value that from the product feature, but of course it will be from the customer perspective, the service. How can you use the insurance? How can you offer the insurance, and of course the value. As I mentioned, I would say that nobody wants to buy insurance, but everybody need it. And this is this perspective that we will transfer with helping of technology. And I think this is that what we discuss in the next some minutes with colleagues from different view. You are muted, I think, Oliver.
Oh, thank you. Oh, I didn't know, Erica.
Yeah.
Thank you, Erica. Opolua, please probably just chip in. Okay, is Wally back? Okay, Wally is not back. Opolua. So let's have your view on this. We can't hear you. I think she's having a problem with her network.
Hello, can you hear me?
Aha, it's better now. We can hear you now. Please go ahead.
All right, great. Good morning, everyone. It's a delight to be a part of this and to be able to contribute to the development of the industry. I really love Elvis' presentations, captured really key areas that is really particular to our present environment, which is Nigeria. Embedded insurance right now is something that I believe will help us to grow the insurance penetration in Nigeria, because as it is presently, a lot of people do not just on their own decide to pick up insurance, right? But with the emerging market with embedded insurance, it's now easy for them to make that buying decision, especially when they are being met at their point of need. So we have for us in Padikova, what we've done is we have partners that are now using insurance as a royalty benefit to customers. So they're giving customers this insurance benefit as a reward for being a part of their system. And because we've been able to do that, this becomes an introductory entry for consumers to come in and then start believing in insurance again. So over time, what we've come to realize is a lot of education, a lot of simplifying the process, really simplifying the process and making it more digitized in a way that anybody, no matter where they are able to, go ahead and buy. We now have embedded insurance in a process whereby you can use USSDs and you can buy using USSDs, even with your feature phones. So, penetrating into different categories of people and making sure they're able to access. So the key word for me is usually access to insurance. So while we are embedding, we are making sure people have access and are able to see the benefits associated with buying insurance and having insurance being a part of whatever they are buying. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. That was very apt. Vincent, go ahead, please.
All right, thank you so much, Ope. Thank you, Olamide. So we'll just go straight to the questions for the panelists. So we'll start quickly with Elvis. Thank you so much again for your presentation. So this just relates to your role as CTO of Konga, right? So as CTO, how are you integrating embedded insurance into your technology stack? And then what technological innovations are driving this integration? I mean, this bearing in mind that you deal with a number of vendors every day who typically sell stuff, and of course insurance would be a good add-on for them. So how do you at Konga integrate embedded insurance into your technology stack?
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much for that question. So at Konga, like I said earlier during my presentation, we actually started exploring embedded technology from the Konga travel perspective, where we started selling insurance to people who purchase travel tickets. Now we started very manual to understand what the opportunities are like, and then gradually we moved into automating the whole process. Now today we are at the phase where we are automating insurance offerings together through in the checkout flow itself. So we have a partnership with some insurance, traditional insurance issuers. I think Coronation of them as well here. Now, what we've done is to have a handshake, a synergy using API integrations, where the two systems are able to integrate with each other. And then we decide some product based on the issuer's risk perspective here, some product that qualifies for insurance, and we embed insurance as an add-on to that product. In a few weeks from now, you'll see this live on Konga.com, where if you're trying to buy something like an iPhone or phone, electronics, etc., you have an insurance being offered to you as well as an add-on. So you could buy it seamlessly without someone having to reach out to you, etc. Now, this is what we've been doing at Konga right now. We are heavy on this. We've seen the future. This is actually the future. And from the little manual test run that we did with Konga Travel, we can actually see that there's a huge potential here to be explored.
All right, thank you so much, Elvis. I think that's really, really thoughtful, and it's something to look forward to. So we'll quickly move on to Nelson next. Nelson,
Right.
yeah,
My sincere apologies, ladies and gentlemen, but I think the strangest thing happened, and technology, sometimes it's difficult to predict when it will fail you. So I'm really, really sorry. For some reason, all internet connections were not working from where I am, but I think I'm back now. So my sincere apologies again. And I can see that all the panelists have already come on board. So perhaps I can just take over from here. Okay. So thank you again for the great presentation. Sorry, I understand somebody was speaking. Maybe I shouldn't just jump in just yet. You can just finish your thoughts.
All right. Thank you again. Welcome back, Wale. So we just went straight to the questions for the panelists. Elvis has taken his first question. We'll just ask Nelson his first question, and then you can take it up from there. So, Nelson, the question is, as CIO at Coronation Insurance PLC, we know that data management and, of course, IT infrastructure would definitely play a very huge role in successfully embedding insurance into solutions for vendors. So we'd like to know, especially for our audience who are entrepreneurs, who are SMEs, who would like to get started with embedded insurance, what role does data management and IT infrastructure play in the successful implementation of embedded insurance solutions?
Thank you very much, Vincent, for that question. I'll first of all start by saying that these days data has become very critical instrument in technology. And with data, a lot of insight can be gained. And how do we acquire this data? We acquire data from different aspects of our behavioral pattern, our journeys, choices we make, and other aspects of our lives. So when someone wants to make a choice, he has a reason for making that kind of choice. And in insurance, you take a risk cover based on certain protections you want to achieve. Therefore, data management has become a significant part of insurance process in the sense that it enables insurance companies like Coronation to determine the kind of customer journeys that will require the personalization of products that they will offer to their customers. And that being said, these personalized products cannot but be efficient except when technology delivers them. Technology brings this back to their very near to them, to their doorsteps, at their convenience, at the tip of their fingers, at their phones, and every other gadget they can lay hands on to have access to these insurance covers. Now, this innovation that brings about embedded insurance into these products leverages what Elvis has mentioned before, which is the API integration. What does the API integration do? API integration brings together the products and the risk cover at a platform where the customer is going to access them. And when the customer accesses them, all he does is 2, 3, 4 clicks, and technology makes it happen. But everything that happens at the back end are all being taken care of by the innovative API technology. Therefore, every risk assessment that's required in terms of the customer onboarding that is required for this insurance cover is being taken care of through the data extraction from the customer itself on that same platform. Then those innovative ideas are all harnessed through technology. And Incorporation Insurance has gone a lot more, some steps ahead to revamp and build some state-of-the-art API technology since last year in readiness for this journey. Because at Connection Insurance, our customer journey is extremely important to us, and that's why we lay a lot more emphasis on how we service our customers, how we provide this insurance to them, and that's the main thing that drives the reason why, even as of today, we have engaged with Konga to provide such embedded insurance on some products at their marketplace. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Nelson. And I'm actually really excited to engage on this topic because as we rightly pointed out, insurance is just one of those services that are not too popular in Nigeria, and for a myriad of reasons, including trust, but of course, the cost implications. But I think that as we are able to make the case for the value of this product and linking it to things that people would ordinarily use, then I think we're really using innovation to drive more adoption. So having said that, I want to now pivot to Erica. Erica, maybe you can just highlight for us your perspective on global best practices in embedded insurance. What have you observed and how can they be applied in different markets in Nigeria, maybe more specifically Nigeria, to drive growth and efficiency?
Yeah, as I mentioned, that insurance is my passion, as I am more than 30 years in this industry and 20 years in the corporate world, and in the 12th year, I am trying to close the gap through education between the exponential developing of technology and the current status of the staff, of the current status of the understanding the future of insurance. And with my activities that I am coming original from the embedded insurance world, because I would say the oldest embedded solution, it was the bank insurance. So that bank and insurance working together, of course, not in the high quality of the technology, but of course the bank has a lot of customers and offer embedded solution. Of course, if you have a loan and it's necessary to have the insurance. And the other activities that I would say for the future, of course, that every company can offer insurance because the technology is here. We have to understand and we have to use the technology. But for us, it's necessary to have this understanding, this growth mindset, these skills for the talents in your company, in the corporate world. And this is very interesting because somebody said the embedded insurance is only a mini part of the business. But regarding Boston Consulting, for example, is 2030, it will be for non-life insurance, it will be more than 30% of your revenue coming from third parties. So it means this is a big opportunity. And somebody that say, okay, but this is, how can I do it? And this is that important. And I think Opeleova said that the education is very important. And without educated people, you cannot use the chance to use the embedded part. And a lot of activities, of course, we heard a lot of activities from the e-commerce, because the e-commerce has this seamless opportunity to use embedded insurance. And from other side, it's just a new trend, for example, from telecom industry as a corporate solution and using for the customers. But in my activities, what we are doing by INTA, we are showing use case every month, every time, use case. How can you use the technology? And the INTAS, as this Innovation Talent Network, this is a digital education platform, And this understanding for your talents, for your colleagues, is the most important, because without using this opportunity, without using design thinking, without using trend management, without using business model innovation, you don't have the chance to create new opportunities in this field. And this is, from my point of view, we are in the beginning, because the technology, so we have a lot of great technology from Europe as well, as for example, Bsurance is developing embedded solution, for example, IEP, also that's it's from UK, also this is a great technology, InsurTech, that using and support insurance companies, more than 90 countries using embedded solution. Or for example, Bolttech, also it's from Singapore, also you can use worldwide the technology in your activities, and combined with your talent, who educated and understand, and this is a chance to see this world. I think it's a great combination to use embedded insurance and to offer for your part, because the advantage in embedded, if you are quick, of course you win this partner, this third part, and normally it's working only with one-to-one insurance. Yeah, and this is, I think, this understanding is important as well from my point of view.
Right. But if you can just clarify for us, because you mentioned a couple of solutions providers, are you suggesting that that really is the key to apply embedded insurance in making sure you get the right, should I say, technology partner to create the solutions? Or in a practical way, I would like you to just explain how businesses can begin to think about how to embed insurance. Because on the call today, we have small, large, medium-sized businesses represented, and they are interested in embedding insurance into their products and services. So in a practical way, how do we move forward?
Yeah, of course, I think technology is only the thing to do something. So from my point of view, the first thing is the open mindset, that if you are going to a partner, for example, I have a favorite, really favorite use case from Heinz, company Heinz. I think everybody know it. This is a ketchup company.
Right.
And the ketchup company analyzed that what is the most risk with the ketchup. Of course, if you open the box, and then it would be that your suit or so, it will be with ketchup. And this is the high high damage possibility for the clients. And of course, Heinz said, okay, this is the opportunity as well. How can we do insurance? And of course, they are offering insurance to to cover the damage of your ketchup damage. And this is the, this is the creativity and the opportunity to do something. And the second step is, of course, to realize it, and the technology. But the first step is the idea, to come to this idea. Hey, I can have of course, the additional revenue from my problem, or for the problem from the clients. And this is the first step, this human-centered innovation approach, what I try to spread the word, that hey, think about think with the eye of the clients, what is need, where are the risks, and if the risk is here, of course you can cover it. But the first step is of course the idea, not the technology, for me.
Right. Okay, well, thank you for sharing that example. Okay, let's move on now to Opeoluwa. Opeoluwa, you are involved in an InsurTech, and so technology is really at the core of what drives what you're doing. So can you share some insight into how, what we can describe as pay-as-you-go insurance models are being embraced by consumers? So what is the uptick from your experience?
So from our experience as Padikova, what we've seen is we have more of our customer base are people that have actually never engaged in insurance. Probably what bought before is maybe third party because it's compulsory, but for every other part, there are new people that have never experienced insurance. So that's 80% of our customer base. Now, what we've come to realize is that one of the scariest things for them is, oh, I don't have that huge lump sum to pay for insurance. It's a lot to my pocket. I'm not going to tie down that amount of money. And we have a lot of business owners that actually come in to us, to our platform. So because they're able to pay monthly, they're able to pay quarterly, they have a flexible payment option. It gives them an option to say, okay, I can put down this money now and then being able to spread my payments across time. It's not a loan, it's not something that is going to be itching them in their pocket. It's just something that makes it convenient for them to run their businesses and also manage their cash flow and be able to make payments for their staff when they want to do their health insurance, pay for some of them have fleet their vehicles. We have logistic companies that have GITs that they want to be able to know that as they are taking the customer's goods, they know that they are covered and it's already embedded into it. So it's easy for them to onboard, these customers. And when they onboard them, it's easy for them to just tell the customers, number one, are delighted that they don't have to do a lot of paperwork, right? So because paperwork is a bit streamlined, it helps them to also adopt, and then knowing that they can just pay as they are doing the transactions makes it easier for them. And we've been able to tie our technology infrastructure around that, making it very seamless, partnering with a lot of underwriters. Coronation is one of our latest ones that we are signing on, and it makes it easy for them to have an holistic offering. So you're not limited to one underwriter, you're not limited to just looking at one product offering. No, you're seeing a landscape of different offerings that you can take, and it's seamless because it's already embedded into your process. So again,
if I can just jump in, maybe you can very briefly just highlight what you consider some of the most exciting use cases here of embedded insurance.
Exciting for me. Okay, I'm just going to talk of one of the projects that we've handled recently, and it's for me, for us at Paddycover, it's not just about revenue, is also about impact, right? And that impact story is usually very, very important to us. So we have a partner. They do solar panels, right? But they do it basically to rural areas. And because they do it basically to rural areas, a lot of those people in rural areas don't have access to hospitals. Before they are able to get to an hospital, it's like a lot of distance. So what they've done is, because they are good for their loyal customers, they've embedded insurance as a reward system for them to say you can talk to a doctor from the platform because they've integrated with us. So they are able to talk to doctors. This company has already paid for it. And so the end consumers, who are those in the remote areas, are then able to. So that's a ripple effect of how great insurance can be in reshaping people's lives and also helping us to build an economy that is sustainable. Those people now don't have to worry about, because I want to buy malaria drugs, I have to start looking for money up and down, because they know they have a trusted partner that has already been paid for that solution for them to be able to access care. And these are real issues that are happening around the country.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. Very interesting. Okay, Elvis, I want to come back to you now, and let's begin to unpack further the usage of this. In a moment, I'll begin to take some of the questions that we've received from our participants. And it really just opens up an incredible, what technology has done now is has opened up an incredible plethora of opportunities to cover risk. So you used the example of the phone earlier. And in my opinion, that should be a no-brainer, because I'm sure maybe 1 out of 2 people at one point or the other have experienced damage to their phone. So it's almost sure to happen. And I guess the next thing will be how you present the opportunity. So from your experience, I wanted to hear your thoughts about what has been effective in selling embedded insurance into products. One thing that came to my mind is layering the benefits. So if you pay this much, you get this much benefit. Maybe you get cover for 6 months or 1 year. I just want to hear your thoughts on how that is working out.
Yeah, thank you, Ole, for that. Can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Great. So how this has been working, or what we've done is look at what we are doing, which will be out very soon at the checkout flow. So if you picked an item now, you want to buy an iPhone, for example, and then you add it to cart, and at that point where you're adding the iPhone to cart, we show you a pop-up that shows, hey, you could get an extended warranty on this phone, meaning we could cover you beyond what Apple guarantees you that they can cover you. We could give you an extra 3 years, 2 years or thereabout, based on what the partner, the provider, the issuer here have analyzed that is possible for that particular product, right? Because we use API, is real time. So it's at the time where you're trying to check out, and there is a communication between our system and the third-party system to evaluate the risk, the item, the kind of policy that they will issue, and then we show you that pop-up. Okay, so we're going to issue you this kind of insurance or this kind of coverage, or we'll issue you a policy that covers you against any damage for shipping, doing shipping, etc. Now, this is how we've done that so far. And seamlessly, you can also add that to cart. So that becomes an add-on that you could add and check out. So you check out both of them together and make payments seamlessly at the same time.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. Interesting. Okay. Let's go to the Q&A field now to take a couple of questions before we round up this engagement. The first question I want to take is from Jennifer, and she's saying, what challenges have others faced when integrating insurance products with informal savings systems? So I think this is being very specific to a service or product. I was wondering, maybe Opeoluwa, you could speak to this, trying to embed insurance into informal saving systems, so the likes of Ajo, I guess.
Insurance savings system. So funny enough, we have something like that. However, one of the challenges we have with that is a lot of the Ajo systems are not technology driven, right? So because it's not, it's always very hard for us to also layer it. But we do this with banks. We do this with MFBs. We're able to embed insurance into their processes. So while you're taking the credit, or you're also you're also contributing, there's a life benefit that comes with that, right? So one of the things I would say is, if you can digitalize your process, it's something that is actually achievable, and it will be seamless for you and the members of the team. In fact, it will even give you more credibility, and they will want to put in their money there.
I think you make a very important point. So this is really a call to all businesses, products, and service providers that digitizing your business is really opening you up to a plethora of services that you can add on to what you are offering to make it even more valuable to your customers. But a quick question on regulation and the impact of that. Someone is asking, how supportive is the regulator NICOM to embedded insurance? I wonder if Mr. Olajolo can speak to that. Are we having any pushback at all? Are they restricting, or are they very happy to engage on this?
No, coincidentally, NICOM has been very supportive. Driving retail insurance, micro insurance, embedded insurance. The requirement for them is you have to engage them. You discuss the first instance. I think the first priority of NICOM is to protect the policyholders. So you have to take them through the process of purchase of the products. How customer will make claims, and then how you're going to make claims, which is very, like what we said earlier on about trust. And then sure, we have trust issue in constant insurance in Nigeria. And the only way NICOM can combat and take it up, customer are protected, is when they know the process, end-to-end process of purchase of products, onboarding, and then claims are paid on time. So that's Nikon Zone, and they've had a series of seminars, training sessions with underwriters. So they're in the forefront of driving embedded insurance, deep insurance. I mean, to a large extent, embedded insurance even deep insurance penetration.
Right.
So, I mean, for customers that don't even know how to go about purchasing insurance. Now, remember that they go to a particular vendor, and then the vendor says, okay, go at the checkout points. Oh, you want to buy insurance? I'm just kind of curious. Okay, I want to buy insurance. Of course, they buy the insurance. With that, they need to go to any insurance company. Automatically, they purchase insurance. They are now aware of insurance. When they now lodge a claim, and their claims are promptly paid, it gives them the that understanding of how insurance works. Then they now move on to purchasing more products. Could be fire insurance, could be other insurance. Nikon is aware of this, and they're in the front of driving it.
Got it. Thank you so much for that. I would like to go now back to Nelson. And this question is for you, and I will expand it a bit. Henry is asking, is it possible to embed term life cover on consumer goods? And I guess it's an opportunity for you to really speak to what is possible now in terms of embedding insurance into products and services, but maybe starting with consumer goods. And this is also an opportunity for you to speak to what's potentially coming in terms of the offerings from Coronation Insurance and what's possible now.
Yeah, thank you very much, Willie. The truth of the matter is that embedded insurance, leveraging technology is endless. It starts from physical to tangible goods to intangible goods and services. Consumer goods, such of any type, can be integrated into a platform where insurance is embedded. What is important is the person who is, or the company who is offering such goods, are they digitized? Do they have a functional API that the insurance company can call and integrate with? Now, are there possibilities of the systems speaking to each other? Because just like, or let me just say it, even if you are not aware of insurance before, and you come into a platform in an environment, when you are checking out, you have an option. The option is you have an insurance that covers this with just a little addition of some money. And when you just click or select, which just a yes or no, insurance covers. And then when you make payment, you are covered. So every data that is required seamlessly flows into the database, which are used to process your claims in terms of risk crystallizing. So it is it's something that is very doable and functional. As a matter of fact, based on the research that is ongoing right now across the entire globe by researchers in the US, in 2028, 30% of every transaction the insurance company is going to be about 30%, which is a huge opportunity. So that cuts across embedded insurance in telecoms, embedded insurance in auto, telematics, embedded insurance in e-platforms, and e-platform you see all manner of goods. Embedded insurance, even in the movement we make, embedded insurance in securities, embedded insurance in our homes, embedded insurance in every day of our lives. And this is why it's important that at Coronation, we are very mindful of our customer journey, such that when we provide insurance cover, we provide a seamless experience beginning to the end. And what that means is that at every point you come into contact with insurance products, you're going to from Coronation Insurance. The experience and the journey is very important. Given an example, if you get into, let me use consumer good and some physical services that are provided. Currently, we've had an insurance embedded on a logistic company, and that logistic company is responsible for delivering all manner of goods. And what do? The insurance covers those goods in transit, regardless of what the product is. And as long as that embedded, as long as that integration has happened, every movement by every of their riders from one destination to the other is covered until that good is delivered. So what that means is that whether that insurance on purchase has insurance already or not, from the transit, from the delivery, it is assured. And so the owner of that good or services, or sorry, the owner of that good is assured that the movement of that good from the purchase to the delivery of the owner's destination is assured. And if anything happens
Yes.
to it at any point in time, the cover will always protect that particular goods. Now, going back to some services. When you are buying, if you're on a journey, assuming you want to enter maybe a bus from Lagos to Ibadan, and within the motor parks, as you're making payments, you will see that the extra 500 naira taken from you is for insurance. And that insurance covers the services are provided by taking you from the Lagos Park to Ibadan. Now, in the event where there's any issue along the line, assuming it is not an accident, but the car breaks down, or any eventuality happens anywhere, it is onus on the owners of that transport company to ensure that you get your destination seamlessly. And if there are damages of anything, even your bag or anything along the line, they cover every bit of it, because the insurance is embedded in your transport system, and the payments have been made initial at the point of sales and onboarding that bus. So embedded insurance is technically endless, and yet it is very possible in as much as it is digitalized and API innovation exists. So it is something doable. Thank you.
Thank you for that. I think Mr. Olamide Olajolo wants to chime in as well. But before that, I actually want to come back to you on the issue of digitization and how critical that is, because I think practically there would be many businesses that may not necessarily see themselves as digitized. They have customers walking into their store to buy products, and those customers make payments. But how can we potentially layer insurance into that experience such that if, as you know, inflation has been so high, but if at some point you are adding something more to the higher price that you're paying, then that could make that service or product more appealing. So I wanted to hear your thoughts on practically how that would work.
Okay.
Very briefly.
Thank you. Well, essentially, when you look at the value of the good you're buying, you realize the importance of that good. Now, when you think about the flip side of that good, assuming anything happens to this good, what becomes of you, and what is the implication of that damage to it? I'll give you a practical example that I experienced. In 2009 or 2010, I bought Samsung Galaxy S4. And at the point of exit, the sales girl told me, "We have insurance. Do you mind?" I said, "What does it cover?" He said, "It covers everything." And I asked, "What about the screen?" He says, "Yes." I said, "Okay, fine." I walked out and I thought about it. I am spending over 100 and something thousand. So what if it cracks, it falls from ground? Because I've had that experience. I came back. I added that 5,000 naira. Lo and behold, in 2 weeks, the phone fell from my hand. And I rushed back to that place. They only told me that they're not going to, I said, "I've been sure of this phone." She said, "You see, if you had not come back to do this, there's no way." And this one has added money. He has added extra 10,000 naira from what I bought it. So when I took it back to them, they took back the phone. In 2 weeks' time, they gave me a brand new phone. Now, if I did not pay that extra, only 5,000 naira, yeah, it was big at that point, at that time. If I had not paid that money, I would have spent almost 200,000 within a space of 2 weeks to 1 month. And I'll be bleeding right inside me, because I'll certainly buy it, because I won't go without a phone. So when you look at the little money that's added, you just look at the risk that you're trying to cover. See, sometimes we don't know the extent of the gain we've made when our risk don't crystallize. But when it eventually crystallizes, that's when we can now equate the importance of providing a cover for ourselves. And it's extremely important that we also look at that in terms of the value we place in providing protection and in ensuring that our protection are efficient and effective in a manner that it provides such cover that were required at that particular point in time, necessary for us to ensure that placement happens seamlessly.
Thank you very much. Mr. Olajolo, you wanted to chime in?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. I just want to add to what Nessie has said. I mean, you use a phrase now which I find very catchy. The opportunities are limitless when it comes to embedded insurance. You know, it's something you've been at Coronation Insurance been working on for the past 2 years. We currently have ongoing discussion about almost 10 partners, 10 vendors. And like you said, in every sphere of our life, you can always have embedded insurance. Are you talking about electronics? When you want to purchase electronics online, even housing, for companies that are into construction, we already engage a number of them. People buy houses, but they are not even aware of the fact that they need to do insurance. We told them embed insurance with your products, because when you are purchasing a house, it's a product. Now, even for renters, to people that want to rent buildings, you can actually embed insurance with the rents, because if anything happens to that building, even though you're a tenant, why the owners of the buildings that are done insurance, the owner, of course, will go home smiling, haven't gone to insurance company to get his purchase, to get his claim. What about the tenants? So we have insurance that you can embed with your rents. So if anything happens to the building, yes, and then the peril is covered, which is fire, the insurance company will come in and give you money for alternative accommodation. Like what Nelson said on the goods in transit, we have a partnership with a courier company that they move goods from one location to the other. We embedded insurance with their products. So as you're buying the products online, insurance is already part of it. And then if anything happens, it protects the courier company. It equally protects the owner of the purchaser of the good. Like you mentioned something about telecom. It's something that we work on, like I think before I even came to Coronation, like when you buy airtime. So you have insurance, you can do, that one is looking towards micro insurance. So you buy airtime, let's say 200 naira airtime, and then we already structured the personal accidents on it. Personal accident insurance that, let's say, is 1,200 per annum. Then so you just spread the payment over 12 months. So for every purchase of 1,000 naira airtime, the insurance company and the telecom company, they have this API that they have the API already. You just deduct the money at back end, and then you have automatic cover for your life, personal accident, medical expenses. So there are a whole lot of opportunities involved in this embedded insurance that I think every business owner should just latch out on it. Is a whole lot. Like I said in my opening remark, it's drive business growth, sustainable business growth. Because if anything happens, when your customer is satisfied, so you have a return customer that come and purchase your goods again. And then in terms of, you asked a question about we walk into a shop. So what I've seen in my own experience is why the tech savvy vendors, they can do API. There are quite a number of vendors that they just know that, they have to do insurance, they go about it. So we've seen some of them, they've gone the traditional way. I packaged embedded insurance for a company, I think about 10 years ago, one of the top electronics companies in Nigeria. They are doing billions of sales. You won't believe, even though embedded insurance is traditional, in the sense that you just go to their shop, I want to buy a television. How much is it? 1 million naira. Oh, for so rates, we can add insurance to it. And people, they have a form, a manual form. People just pick up the form, they fill the form, and they add the payment to their to the cost price of the product, and then they purchase it. And you subsequently, you start getting claims from these people. Sometimes, my child was watching the TV, threw shoes at the TV and they fell. 2 million naira. So, and you see cases like that. So when they come and we pay their claims, they're always amazed. Is it the way insurance works? Yes, the way it works. So for those ones, of course, everything should be technology driven, which is the ideal thing that I want to do. So if vendors can always get a tech company that approach insurance company, API with them, is like what Nessie says, very seamless. It's not something that is elaborate. Do it, and then your customer is happy, you're happy. Those are just my thoughts on this. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much for sharing that. And before I go on, I actually just realized that I didn't get the chance to introduce our panelists, and I think I should. Of course, our keynote speaker was Elvis Chukwu, Chief Technology Officer of Konga Online. He is a seasoned technology leader, and as you can see so far, he is clearly driving innovation and growth in e-commerce, but on top of that, fintech and logistics. And then we also have Erica Christian, who is Managing Director of Inter Innovation Education, a leading expert in insurance innovation and digital transformation. We have Nelson Madu, of course, he has spoken earlier, Chief Information Officer at Coronation Insurance. And then we, of course, have Apeolua Mutoe, Chief Operating Officer at Party Cover, an insurtech company. Right, so now I want to go to Erica now. So Erica, you talk to us about, because clearly you've spoken about training and upskilling people to deliver this service. But I imagine a big part of success will be making sure that as these products are designed, the customer experience is enhanced. So because especially in a market like Nigeria, where there has just not been a huge uptick of in insurance penetration is extremely low. So you want to make sure that that customer experience is great. And I wanted to hear your thoughts about that in terms of preparing companies who would like to embed insurance in their products and services, and the importance of making sure that as they do so, they pay close attention to the customer experience.
Yeah, thank you. So that it's not only in Nigeria, I would say in Europe, it's not the most sexy industry, the insurance industry, and but we have the possibility to change it. And this is my vision. What can we do together to this ranking a little bit improve? And of course, if we are working together as insurance industry and we give the possibility for clients and we explain for the clients why is necessary insurance. If I have some clients that, for example, using short videos to explain the risk, and the client said, "Wow, it can happen with me as well." And this active branding and activity from insurance company, this is need. Not only the hard selling, you have to buy an insurance, you have to push your sales colleagues, hey, you have to sell this and this. But we have to educate our clients and to come to conclusion, this is a chance to have this insurance. This is a little bit change mindset. How can we explain and educate our client for this, recognize this chance, also that, hey, I need it. And for this is the first step, of course, to thinking from the customer perspective. And after that, of course, as I mentioned, it's my favorite topic is the talent development. How do you develop your colleagues to understand this new word? Because it's a lot of activities, for example, from corporate influencing, and you are going in the world and to explain for possible clients. And this is that after that, for example, you get the lead. Oh, this is not a cold acquisition activities, but the clients knows, hey, I need this insurance. But of course, in the embedded part is the third party thinking is very important. And my every year I have a motto, because I am not only a business trainer, but once per year I bringing this open-minded mindset people together to Vienna, also to Austria, to our MOI. This is the magic of innovation, Innovation Day, also in Vienna, or a digital live streaming, and explain why embedded excellence drives innovation. Also that collaboration, to be open to change the mindset of the people. Because if we are insurers doing a great job and the client says, wow, this is a great opportunity. And for example, I would be happy, for example, if Coronation Insurance trying, for example, a campaign and ask your clients, hey, do you have a positive story about insurance? Yeah, also that not always complain, oh, then don't want to pay or whatever. But for example, ask your client, hey, do you have a great story? and you are doing, for example, a video and the client explain, "Wow, yes, also this insurance helped me or for my family or whatever." Also, this is what I try to explain. It's necessary a little bit change our mindset and from the process point of view, because as I mentioned, this is a really lovely exemplar from Heinz, also the SketchUp story. But this is, of course, not about the high revenue that they generated, but they support the brand with this small amount from the whole
Right.
business opportunity. And this is that what we can try in the insurance industry. How can I have this access to the client to get the possibility to generate something that helping for the clients? And after that, of course, it could be this is a small amount, but in the second part, this is an opportunity to the clients and to help the clients. And how can you support with your service opportunity the convenience for the client? Because this is that the technology can help in this case. Because the technology with its digital approach and so, but of course, as I mentioned, for me, not the technology, because if you have a bad process and do digitalize this bad process, it will be a bad digitalized process. And in first, you have to thinking about the process and the needs of the clients. And and this is the opportunity in first to create the ID. After that, okay, do you have an organization? Do you have clients? Do you have talents who understand this new word? Do you support your clients because you have some budget to do something crazy? It would be crazy, I would say sometimes, because this idea, the creativity, because we have as people the chance against the technology or AI, whatever, to drive this change, as a not technology will driven as the whole process. We have to be active, the whole insurance industry, and of course we have some challenges. And I would say that I don't know your regulatory, but believe me, I believe that in Europe we have the most strong regulatory in any case. So that we have AI Act, but we don't know in Europe what can do this technology, so that we regulate everything. And in the insurance, of course, the IDD, this is the European Insurance Distribution Directive. This is very strong in the embedded insurance as well. So it means we have to have in a third part registered in our authority. We have to do the training. We have to IDD 15 hours every year, a special training and a lot of activities. But I think this is a big chance for everybody. So that this is my point of view, that the people first, technology second.
Got it. Thank you. Thank you very much for sharing your thoughts on that. Okay, we have a couple of questions here. I want to pose the next one to Opeoluwa. And someone is asking, what's the importance of insurance in food business, mostly for a home baker or an online food delivery business? Of what benefits is it to your clients, because our products are for immediate consumption? So I guess this person is trying to be innovative with his service and is wondering, okay, what more can I add to the service offering by layering insurance on it? Paula, your thoughts? You are muted. You need to unmute. Right.
Okay, great. As a food business, right? You have working customers, I want to presume. That's one.
I think it's also online delivery as well.
Online delivery. Okay, great. So it also depends on, are you the one taking care of your delivery, or you are outsourcing that to a delivery company? Now, if you're outsourcing to a delivery company, most of the delivery companies already have a lot of them that I don't want to start calling brand names, but yeah, there are some that I am aware of, right, that have embedded insurance into their process. And that's for you. So if you're the one delivering by yourself, So perishables are most of the time not probably very well covered. But when an accident occurs, in the process of that, and then maybe something then happened, you can then embed it and see how you can, recoup your money and then pay the customer back so that you don't have to go through all that hustle and tussle again. But perishables are always really difficult to include when it comes to the GIT insurance. But definitely, we always, because again, for party cover, we have different underwriters that we work with. So there are some that, depending on the scenario, there's something that can definitely be, reworked for you. And it's really will be very specific to your processes. So for us, we always want to review, what's your process like? What exactly are the touch points for customers? And those touch points for the customers, what are the risks around it? And then we provide cover around that risk. So I'm hoping to actually have a conversation with you. You can send me a DM and we can look at it and review on a one-on-one basis.
Thank you. Sounds good. All right, Elvis, if I can come to you, and this is going to be really open-ended, but it's really trying to dig into your experience, because I imagine Konga sells a wide plethora of products. And from what you can see, where are the opportunities, the low-hanging fruits for product providers, service providers to add embedded insurance? That makes a huge difference. Because the more I think about it, we've spoken about phones, electronics, the risks are there. So it's like a no-brainer, but then some people may hesitate because of the additional cost. But from what your experience, maybe you can speak to the opportunities that you think product providers and service providers can latch onto to add embedded insurance in their offering.
So yeah, thank you, Wale. So the opportunities here, the opportunities are very, very, very wide. In every single purchase flow, be it online or offline, even in the offline setting, say the walk-in store that you mentioned earlier, you actually embed the insurance to that. Most of these checkout flows are automated. Some uses some inventory softwares and some, so you could embed it here and have an integration with an insurance company that provides the insurance there. So what happens is, as soon as somebody tries to buy an item from you, you have an opportunity to present insurance to that person. And the person have an opportunity to also buy this insurance. You could also be a little bit creative by trying to add kind of illustrations at the points where you add this insurance to convince the person on the benefits and why the person can actually purchase this insurance. Other opportunities include that once you successful, for times when people actually purchase items and get insurance with it as well, especially if there is an issue that arises and they're able to make a claim and get it, that improves trust.
Right.
Imagine if someone purchased an iPhone from Konga.com today and then got an insurance. Oh, let me take Nelson's example. Imagine if the Samsung that Nelson purchased was on Konga.com and he got that insurance. And when he needed to make the claim, it was offered to him. What will happen ideally is every time Nelson wants to purchase something, we would want to do that on Konga.com, right? So it also, the opportunity there also includes retaining customers' loyalty, right? Because they believe in what you offer them. They believe that they are covered. They believe that they can make claims where things actually go wrong and get value for their money.
Right. Thank you for that. Okay, I want to come back to Mr. Olajolo, and I think this is an issue that I thought about when Erica was speaking earlier, related to customer experience. And this actually also, I think, is important to better protect service providers from, should I say, frivolous claims. And that is the issue of some form of arbitration to address areas when, and I think I did see a question relating to that, where people are making a claim and that claim is denied in their mind for some technicality. And now that we're trying to really get into embedded insurance and make it so much more popular, is there a case for some kind of platform where people can where the provider of the service and the customer can have, in quotes, an arbitrator to confirm the status of that claim. Because, as you know, in these days, there can be a lot of negative news flow around the experience that is not justified, which obviously will now hurt that business. I mean, all I have to do is just go on Google and share a bad experience, which is not necessarily factual. But I wanted to hear your thoughts about that. Maybe NIA needs to get involved. I don't know.
Thank you very much. I mean, it's a very valid question. You know, in insurance, I always say the only thing we need to market is claim. If you place all the necessary adverts out there and then you have claims, don't pay your customer, that's kind of negative. You have a serious negative impact on the insurance provider as well as the whole industry. So NIA is aware of this, and then Nikon is the forefront of driving it. So in Nikon, they have a customer complaint section. The customer can always write, send to Nikon call the underwriter, call the marketer. But even prior to this, in any insurance policy, every insurance policy, they have arbitration clause there. So when there's a claim, and then of course every insurance company should pay genuine claims, and that's my advocate of paying claims. But like Riley said, it goes both ways. So you see customer lodging claims, lodging claims that you think they ought not to have been paid, you know, and then the customer will push back. I mean, the underwriter will push back and say, no, this claim is not genuine. Of course, there's a friction. So the next point of call, the first point of call is the arbitration clause in the insurance policy. And you know, when you ask the question about Nikon involvement, I said power of Nikon involvement for them to even see the policy document you are sending to the public. And there they have to see the arbitration condition there. And the arbitration condition means if there's a claim, so we agree on an arbitrator that will adjudicate the case and then decide whether it's after that, then the aggrieved party could be the underwriter, it could be the client, I mean the customer, now approach Nikon or approach NIA. And likewise in NIA too, have a customer complaints section as well that is open to everybody to approach when they feel aggrieved about not setting their claim. And then what we're even doing at NIA level is periodically we place adverts, putting all those complaint sections there for NIA, for Nikon, for underwriting firms, and periodically we all sit down to review all the claims in the industry and see how we can. And you know, like you said, we should, as underwriters, we look for every reason to pay claims, not to pay. And that's the first point of call. So there's always, you have different avenues for customer to make their complaint known about the underwriter, first to the underwriter, through the arbitrator, then NIA, then Nikon, before we even talk about judicial angle, which shouldn't get to that extent if everything we all agree on.
Yeah, and again, this is to the point that Erica was making about training and cost relating to the customer experience, because I think if you manage that well, then you offer the opportunity to sell the notion that insurance pays. And even in a case where somebody is unable to successfully make a claim, if that customer experience is one where the underwriter or whoever the touch point is explaining that, listen, you only were covered up to this point, your claim was not covered, and he can explain it in a very reasonable way. Yes, maybe the claimant may be disappointed, but at least they understand why. So I think just having that experience is so important. Okay, we're beginning to run out of time, but I have a couple of questions here. Going to Nelson, and Nelson, if you can very quickly, very, very quickly indeed, respond to this. This person is asking, can you give us one case scenario where Coronation Insurance is leveraging tech and innovation to drive business growth with the emphasis on, I think this is know your customer and customer onboarding. Nelson, do you want to take that?
Yes. If I hear you very well, the question says where
you are leveraging tech and innovation to drive business growth. So I guess that is really the theme of this event. How can I leverage tech and innovation, maybe embedding insurance, to drive the growth of my business? Maybe you have some case studies you can speak to.
Okay. Thank you very much. I will deviate a bit from the use cases we've mentioned before.
Right.
As a matter of fact, every business that is not thinking of digitalization this time around might be left out in a few years to come. The reason is that every financial institution and every business has upped their game in terms of using innovation and technology to increase their product delivery, product distribution, sales, payment management, customer service, customer journey, customer experience, as well as support process. And why do I say this? In Coronation Insurance, we've deployed a number of technology innovation and the innovative initiatives to drive growth. One, in our underwriting process, we deployed a technology whereby we can seamlessly and our customers can seamlessly interact with our front-end platforms like our mobile phone to get immediate quotes on all the products to have. And that will enable customers make immediate decisions on the product they're going to buy with respect to the premium they're going to pay, and they can instantly pay within a click of 3-4 times, and they make payment. And as they make this payment, they get their certificate, meaning that they've been onboarded, and that cover which they've bought, they are covered for it. Again, when this is done, customer experience becomes very, very enjoyable. And when you experience such a thing, you become a bit of an ambassador of that, because sometimes when you experience something that is a bit unusual across certain areas of business, you begin to say, okay, has this move matured to this level? Which means we're growing. So you begin to speak about it. And when somebody has this kind of promise, say, no, don't worry yourself, just go to some place and get it done. I'll give you an example. I did one funny stuff sometime. I went to drop off my friend sometime last 2 years. And when I was coming back, he delayed me. And the route I took were a lot of policemen. So when they stopped me, I didn't know that the car I had, the insurance expired a night before that day. So when they were asking me about insurance and all that stuff, as I looked at it, I saw that. I said, okay, let's hold on. I went into my car. Within a space of 10-15 minutes, I bought insurance. I came back. I showed the policeman. I said, okay, this is my insurance. He was saying, okay, why don't you go and give us money? I said, don't worry. When I came back and showed him, he said, do you want to go and call somebody? As a matter of fact, he was expecting me to come back to say, oh, yeah, come, I want to give you some money. I want to settle you. But because I leveraged, as at that time, I just had to buy that insurance through our website. Right. Yes. And as I presented it to him, he was marveled and he let me go. So that innovation, that opportunity created by technology through a website to get my insurance cover within 10 minutes gave me that leverage to get off the hook, which I never knew about. And because we now provide education across board for people to understand that this is possible, it's something you can do. We are using to drive growth. On the front end, where we have our agencies, our food agencies at the markets, we provide them with a platform whereby they can help every client, every potential client and need that they meet across anywhere to onboard them on all the products that are possible, ranging from all general insurance products, motor insurance, any manner of insurance you can think of on that platform, they can onboard them seamlessly. Now, bringing it a bit more complex.
I'm so sorry, Nelson. I know you have a lot to say, but we are really running out of time. I think you've shared a lot already, but there are some questions here that are very direct. And if you can give me a very short answer to this, can the concept of embedded insurance originate from the buyer in a situation where the seller is yet to adopt the system? So I wanted to hear your thoughts on that.
Sorry, say that again.
Can I, as a customer, propose that I want to embed insurance? Let's say, for example, I'm buying a phone and there is no offer of insurance. Can I, as the customer, now say I want to embed insurance?
Yes, you can. In as much as
the question is, how do I do that practically? if that insurance is
Okay.
not being offered at that time?
Yeah, but the most important understanding here is if the seller of that product has the capability or has already has an insurance existing or has a relationship with an insurance company, whether digital or manual, he or she can provide that insurance. If you request for it, that can be done.
So in a sense, I guess the answer is no, if that is not the case. You cannot just embed if that person is not already on board with an insurance. Oh, Mr. Olajola, do you want to?
No, I mean, you've already responded to it, because you remember when I think it was Elvis' second slide, embedded insurance, when you embed insurance product into a non-insurance product. So is the vendor that sells the product that embed insurance with that product with special features of it. So someone that purchases the product, and the owner of the business does not have insurance embedded, insurance embedded into the product. Of course, that person has to approach an insurance company to buy insurance separately. It's as simple as that.
Okay, quick question again. What do you see as the role of insurance brokers in selling embedded insurance? Anyone wants to speak to that?
I think
Can you come again with the
question should be able to respond to that.
Okay, I said the role of insurance brokers in selling embedded insurance. Do they play a role at all, or can they play a role?
Oh, yeah, they do. They do. So I think NICOM has really done a lot of sanitation around that and making it so enabled for all stakeholders to come in. So there's this license that you call the Web Aggregator license. Most brokers are then advised to do that, and then if they're able to digitalize their process. So we have a broker that Padikova has worked with, and we help them to build their infrastructure in terms of the technology infrastructure they're using, and they're able to then generate APIs, and they're now able to then embed insurance. So it's a full-fledged process for brokers, and they're able to do that seamlessly. So it's just making sure that you are going to a broker that is that understands the process, and they are also technology enabled to provide that offering. So that's basically it. A lot of brokers are really going through that angle now.
Okay.
So, well, if I may add to what you just said now, the essence of embedded insurance is just to deepen insurance penetration and to ensure financial inclusion. Whether it's the vendor or what the insurance company is going to do is to approach a particular vendor. They assess their products, charge the necessary payment on the product. Oh, this is what you have to pay for this particular product. Now, do API integration and embed insurance with the product. Likewise, an insurance broker can as well approach the same vendor and do that as well. And at the back end, they know how they get their commission now. So the essence of it is let's deepen insurance penetration, and then the financial they put financial inclusion in the country. So whether the underwriter or the broker, any of the insurance intermediary or professional can do it.
All right. We still have a couple of questions. So I want to appeal to our speakers, if you can just look in the Q&A field and maybe respond, because we have run out of time now. And I want to say thank you again to all our panelists and of course our keynote speaker for the presentation. I think it's been a very engaging and informative session. And I believe that everyone that has participated has gained quite some from this interaction. On that note, I want to just yield now to Nneka Nat-Ude, Head of Operations at Coronations Insurance, who would be delivering some closing remarks as we begin to wind things down. Nneka, over to you.
Thank you very much, Wale. Ladies and gentlemen, as we draw this insightful webinar to a close, I would like to extend my heartfelt thanks to each of you for your participation today. I'm Nneka Nat-Ude, the Head of Operations at Coronation Insurance PLC, and it has been a privilege to share this time with you. Today's discussions have showcased the remarkable potential of embedded insurance to drive business growth through technology and innovation. Our expert speakers have offered invaluable insights and practical strategies on how to leverage these advanced solutions to enhance customer experiences, and secure a competitive edge in this digital era. I would want to express our gratitude to our distinguished speakers, Elvis Chukwu, Erica Krizan, Nelson Madu, Opeoluwa Duntoye, and a very special thank you to Wale Famrewa for expertly moderating our session. As we conclude, I encourage you to reflect on the insights shared and consider how they can be applied to your business strategies and operations. At Coronation Insurance PLC, we are committed to supporting you every step of the way, ensuring that you can harness the power of technology to deliver seamless and innovative insurance solutions. If you have any further questions or need personalized advice, please do not hesitate to reach out to our team. We are here to help you make informed decisions that will benefit you and your organization. Thank you once again for joining us. We look forward to continuing this journey with you and seeing you at our future events. Have a great day and stay safe. Bye.
Thank you very much, Nneka, for those.
Thank you, Wale. Elvis, Erica, thank you, everyone.
Yes, thank you as well, Mr. Alajola, for your contribution, and for, of course, to Coronation Insurance for providing this platform for us to engage on this very important topic. And I do hope that everyone is taking away the notion that embedded insurance is something that, beyond just trying to, as Mr. Alajola pointed out, deepen financial inclusion and cover risks, it can actually be used strategically to drive the growth of your business. And I do believe that the contact information of Coronation Insurance will be up on the screen shortly. Please engage them and let's try and create some great solutions. On that note, I want to say thank you so much to everyone and enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you. Nice day, everyone.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Have a great day, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you. And hopefully I see you in Vienna or digital live streaming by MOI 12 and 30 of May
No, you see us,
2025.
you see us.
Yeah,
We
it was
did.
nice. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Erica. Elvis and thank you very much for your
Thank you. Thank you so much for the
Thank you,
opportunity.
Erika. Thank you, Okwe. Thank you, Elvis.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Erica. Thank you,
Thank you, Erika.
Elvis.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay.